So as a sign of things getting better, Megadeth has announced that they're going back on tour. Now, so don't get excited, it's going to be later this year around August. And they're resuming their tour with Lamb of God, co-headlining with In Flames, and there's another band in there, I think. I forget who it is, but yeah. And since we can't have anything good, there's also now allegations of sexual misconduct against Megadeth bassist David Ellison. Now, it's a little tricky because this all happened on Instagram. Somebody posted a video of him beating off on camera. I don't know, I didn't see it, but I think that's what it is because it got taken down super quick. And then people started accusing him in the comment section about grooming, that they knew that girl was underage and he was grooming her and having an inappropriate relationship, albeit online. But it turns out that the details are a little bit more complex. He was having an inappropriate relationship with a fan. She wasn't underage. She actually came out and posted that all this stuff happening against David Ellison is misinformation. Yeah, they did message. They did have a little bit of saucy, raunchy texting back and forth, but all of it stayed online in messaging form, never in person, and that it was 100% consensual, and she was never underage at the time of those recordings. David Ellison said, people are rushing to judge me. Yeah, and so he put out a statement saying, basically it's a lot of misinformation going around, and, the girl confirmed it. So there's still a little bit of up in the air there. I mean, he is, I think he's a Christian. I know his wife is like a Lutheran priest or something, or preacher or pastor. I don't know what they call their people that disperse all that bullshit to the public, but in their denomination. But yeah, so then there's a little complex. We'll see if he's going to get divorced or what comes out of it. Megadeth issued a statement that they want all the details to come out. But again, we don't know how that's going to affect Ellison's employment of Megadeth. Since now he is no longer a partner. He's no longer co-owner of Megadeth. Now he's just a paid employee, which is something that probably helped him during the quarantine, because he was able to get unemployment and things like that. But who knows? We'll see where that goes. But yeah, where do you think this is going to go for Megadeth? Are you anxious to see the tour? What about that good? In other news, septicflesh has been honored by having 4 of their songs added to the Library of Music at the Berklee School of Music. So they're going to have 4 songs from Septicflesh's catalog in their catalog of music that they play, whether it's going to be in, the marching band or something. And one of those songs is Enemy of Truth, Vampire from Nazareth. And one of my favorite songs of theirs is called Portrait of a Headless Man. Now, if you ever hear Portrait of a Headless Man, that thing's a masterpiece. That should be up there with like Beethoven and Mozart. And now it's getting the props at the Berklee School. It's cool for me because I called that one as soon as I heard it. I remembered the day like it was yesterday, listening to Liquid Metal on Sirius XM. And I'll put the link down here. You can tell me I'm full of shit, or you don't agree that it should be one of these great songs in that library. And finally, I know you guys have been waiting for more John Schaefer news. Last we spoke, the Oath Keepers had denied any involvement with him and membership of John Schaefer within the Oath Keepers, and the case has gone wild since. I haven't posted any videos talking about John Schaefer that much because CNN's talking about it, TMZ. Now you don't get the slant I give, which is a fan of John Schaefer's work and disappointment and telling people they shouldn't be surprised, but you don't get that from CNN or TMZ. But I didn't want to saturate your feed with more John Schaefer shit, but I'll give you a quick rundown of what has happened since. He has been working with the federal government and the Department of Justice, so he actually got his sentence brought down to like 5 years or something. The trial hasn't happened yet, but they got rid of a lot of those charges because he's a fucking rat. He actually, if you see the news that came out on CNN and TMZ, in relation to John Schaefer and the Oath Keepers is now we started hearing and finding evidence that the Oath Keepers were being trained by police officers. And that is something that I believe that John Schaefer squealed about, that he sang like a canary about to the very system he wanted to overthrow. And that is like, if there's one thing I hate than a fucking traitor, there's a fucking rat. But who am I? I'm no Godfather. I'm no Tony Soprano. I'm not gonna do nothing about it. I'm just gonna keep calling him a fucking rat on social media. I'll still rock out to his music. I'll still wear the shirts. But he's a fucking rat. And but yeah, one of the things that he was offered was also witness protection. So I don't know if he'll be able to play music again. They might need to change the name of the band Iced Earth to something else. Like, no, we're not Iced Earth. We've never been Iced Earth. We are Iced Dirt. I don't know. What witness protection name would you give Iced Earth now that he's squealed? Other things happen. He's out on bail. There's actually video. You'll see it right here somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Of him actually exiting the courtroom, and a TMZ or I forget. No, I think Newsmax or one of these independent news companies. The reporter's asking him a bunch of questions, and he's just ignoring it. And, I would have never thought paparazzi would try to get comments from John Schaefer, but I wish it would have been for like, when's the new album coming out? Or something like that, but instead his legacy is reduced to this fucking treacherous involvement with the Capitol riots. And yeah, this is it. This is what he believed in. Dee Snider commented on his and called him a fucking child, and he was childish and all this. The singer from Tear, which the video you see me post here of the Demons and Wizards tour, Tear was one of the bands that opened up for them. And the singer from Tear talked about meeting John Schaefer on the Tearcast, which is a podcast of Tear, the band Tear. He basically said, I spoke to him about 5 minutes, 5 or so times while they were on tour, and he seemed like a nice guy. He said he was very American. It was one of the things he said, which I don't know what that means. Tear is, of course, from, I believe they're from a remote island that belongs to Finland. It's a weird small island nation that belongs to Finland. I don't remember the exact name, but he talked about that, and he said that, he basically didn't condone his John Schaefer's actions. He agreed with Dee Snider that it's kind of childish, and he kind of took the stance that I've been saying, which is like, it's weird that the very system he was trying to overthrow is who he's working with. If you really believe that it was that corrupt and that bad, why would he be doing that? He has no, from my perspective, this isn't the guy from Tear saying, but for me, it's like shows a lack of integrity and honor. And I think that's kind of what the dude from Tear was trying to say, but it's not. He didn't say it in so many words. But yeah, that's kind of what's been happening with John Schaefer, and who knows? We'll see where it goes from here. He's supposed to turn himself into the Indiana court system, so we'll see what they'll do or they'll take him. If the Oath Keepers that he was part of were those cops were training him according to what the news says. I don't know if they might be nice to him, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I'll keep you posted. I'll see as this develops, because it is a developing story, and I'll get back to that when the time comes.